It's not their verdict. I don't know.
And we're live.
Okay, thank you very much. And welcome, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Corporate of Township of Bones Valley Committee meeting to order. Additions to the agenda? No additions to the agenda?
Did Tracy?
I imagine everyone has read the minutes and the agenda. Anyone having any peculiar interest? No.
I know John and Brent are dying to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Brent? Okay. Delegations, we have none. Reports, Kevin?
Thank you.
These events seem like a long time ago, but just want to touch base on them, just the way it was working in our reports. Anyways, I think I'm not sure who was all at Taste of Valley, but it was well attended.
It was amazing.
Both events, Taste of Valley and the Gun Show
Mhm.
was phenomenal attendance, so it was great to see everybody back.
Did anybody at council go to the gun show?
No,
I wouldn't dare go out, I know more than I need.
I was okay. Sorry, I was in London, so I missed it.
As you see, we got the ice is up and going. We had our first full Saturday at the reef this past Saturday, and anyways, we had Mother Nature wasn't very friendly with us at the start, very hot, but anyways, we had to do a around the clock shift once it cooled down enough, just to make sure we were ready. So we had 2 shifts on, a night shift and a day shift, as they got things going. So anyways, hopefully that's just this year and won't be any more coming.
Hey, public skating doesn't start on October 6th. It starts on September 23rd.
The October the 6th is a PA day.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
We got free skating coming up.
The senior skate is not starting to till December the 4th. So last year we had a real good response. I would like to start it again this year after Thanksgiving. That one starting on Mondays and at 1 o'clock. We had great attendance. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going out to get sponsored for public skating. So I may ask if we have the public skating is all full, we may reach out to other people to sponsor that senior skate.
Great.
So it's perfect. So out of our public skating, we have 32 altogether. We only have 10 spots left. So the great response for sponsoring public skating. So
I'm happy to, am I one of your?
not as of yet. That was one
Oh,
of
there you
my
go.
questions.
So why don't, I'll sponsor one and Murphy's Auto will sponsor a seniors or vice versa, whichever you want.
Do you have a preferred date, Jen?
No, not
Okay.
at all. You choose, Kev.
Yeah.
Dealer's choice.
Minor hockey is looking at running the canteen this year, and we have a contract to sign up before and then sign it, and then
It looked good.
they sign it back and get things rolling. I thought they're hoping to have everything up and running for this weekend for for our skate and our chili upstairs and all the good stuff. The junior B team is absent for this year. We had the health inspector came in and did an inspection on our splash pad. We had to do a little bit of signage change. There's more information No big concern, just little stuff, so that's not an issue. Did the inspection on the canteen plus the upstairs, so no alarm bells went off. Christmas party, December 2nd, reached out to the people are here, and I got one quote back and waiting for more. To complete them.
You gave them the same criteria?
Pretty much, yes, yeah. The Rotary Beach, you saw the completion of the roof, both structures are completed now. Centennial Park, the toy bus has been using in August, but it's finished up now. The Guy Jameson banner, that was a great evening.
Oh my, that was a phenomenal evening.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all the work you guys put into it. Annette and you and all of your staff. I couldn't believe how many people were there.
Yeah, it was
That was
great.
really beautiful.
It would have been I have no idea, it would have been neat to have kind of a round figure, but just attendance, but I didn't even, because it was hard to tell. It's hard to tell, such a big area. Yeah.
There had to have been 500 people.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
No, it was very good, very good. The tourist booth.
Yeah. Let's talk about the time capsule. So Bob Peltzer, former counselor, very kindly built that beautiful time capsule at the tourist booth. And there was a sundial on top. And it's been ripped off, he's replaced it. Anyway, it actually has to be replaced now. Bob reached out, it's about $400. And he'll install it. He, again, such a kind man, offered to pay for half of it if the township would pay for the other half. I said if we didn't agree, I would just pay for the other half, because that monument is really important. And he spent that was a labor of love. He also built the one at the county of Renfrew. So when we were celebrating our 150th at the county, he did that one as well. So I'll leave it with you guys what you think, whether we each donate money, or if we've got a little money in our line item. It is only about $200 for us, but I will leave it with you.
But I think we'll go ahead and share it with them. Is there any way that they can put on a little more secure?
Yeah, I think he has a plan in mind. I can pull up his email if you want, but I think he's got a plan. But it
That was
was,
about 4 years ago that was vandalized.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't up any time at all when they knocked the top off.
I was gonna say that, I think that was in the first year of first term. I thought the last time, that's about 5 years.
Do we still have the top? Somebody didn't throw them, somebody.
No, I think it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
The dark.
the last time, I don't think it was gone. I think he was able to repair it, but now it's gone.
Yes.
Yeah,
I saw somebody said they threw it in the river or something. That's what I was in the back of my mind.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. So is there a camera at the tourist booth?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
We'll have to, there's 2 there, and we'll just have to relocate, and since we're on this topic. I would like to recommend to shorten the hours on that bathroom there.
What are they right now?
Right now, they're from 7 AM to 9 PM.
And music in the park is done.
That's correct, yeah.
So what would your recommendation be?
I would say 7 o'clock for now, and as the nights get shorter, cut it right back, because this problem isn't going away.
All right, I'm fine
And-
with that.
There's nothing we can do inside the bathroom,
Right.
so we can look after the outside, but this,
So that would just be creepy, Kevin, if you did something. like that.
but it's the artwork is
Okay,
so
I'm fine with 7 to 7. That's
7 and
Let's start with that.
start at 7, and then we'll just, like, by after Thanksgiving, it'll be shut down anyways. But if we can kind of curve what's going to happen,
What's the hours at Grace?
McRae's same type, but there hasn't been an issue down there.
Well, you're off the beat, you're off the beaten path.
and stuff. They've got neighbors right there,
So
right across the road.
Mhm.
we can, We'll
You
be
just keep,
McRae-
we keep McRae's society, except like it'll be open until 9 or
Yeah,
something? or-
right now it'll be open to 9, but then once Thanksgiving comes, after Thanksgiving, everything, all the washrooms, public washrooms will be, will winterize
Yeah.
and shut down, so.
Yeah,
Let's try to curb the damage from now till then.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
So before we leave this, I'd be willing to share with you our half of the cost of the replacement.
I think Merv's suggestion was that we find a line item of that for that 200 in council's budget.
Okay,
Yep.
fair enough.
And I will let Bob know. I told him to go ahead anyway, but I'll make sure that I let him know that council has agreed to pay for the other half. And he put you have no idea how much work that man put into that time
Yeah.
capsule, and the one at county is huge. So he really,
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Just the village, the flower box will be coming down, I think they're talking maybe frost tonight, so they might even we get some nice days this week, we'll just remove them and that'll be, they'll all put away. The Legion Field, is a picture of the splash pad, we just have to fix up the bases a little bit, cut the pavement there, put a new pavement and build a little box around is the bottom of the metal. So it's a little more protection. So it's very, very minor, but that'll be fixed up. And that's pretty much the end of my report.
and thank you for the photos too. Like, it's nice to have. You know, I haven't seen the roofs. I did see the shade structures, so it's always nice to have photos included.
I'm going to public skating. If you don't have enough, I'll sponsor them.
Okay, thank you very
And
much.
what I'm trying to say, that if the businesses want to sponsor them to advertise, that's fine, but if you run out, keep me in mind.
Okay, and the thing is, Merv, if we do fill up, would you be interested in sponsoring a senior skate tournament? Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions from?
No, but for the canteen lease, I had no issues with it.
Oh,
If
yeah, no,
anyone wanna put any questions on it?
I was happy with it.
Yeah, it was pretty standard, so.
Yeah.
I think it solves some staffing issues also for you. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they'll still employ people, but I know that, you know, we had this huge conversation at county yesterday about staff in general, and so it's.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, and then for the tour de bon, sure, I actually had a relative actually going in with a friend up from Whitney, actually. And what a great turnout though. So like that's the thing, these where kids had signs and everything up
Yeah.
cheering on, like people had seen like stuff, but like fantastic turn.
Yeah.
And stuff, so I was kind of going to that, any way we can support them for that, like 100%, like that's such a great event and it draws in from
Oh,
like,
it's huge.
it's huge, it's amazing, so on our end.
The hardcores drive past my house.
Yeah.
To go up the point. It's crazy.
Well, like a relative did the gravel run and stuff like that, so they're up down like 40 Mount Sand, up all in the boondocks is the best way to put it, and like it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, but they came from Whitney, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
So it draws in like a great area. So I was thinking, I was like, any way we can do to kind of help support them going next year, 100%.
And even yet, there's groups, they come into the rink parking lot and they unload their bikes and use the washrooms and they're back, like they're gone for the day. They leave at 9 o'clock in the morning, they're back at 4:30 kind of, so. No, it's a great event.
Well, and it's going to be a beautiful ride in a couple, probably in a week or so, right? I mean, driving, if you,
Yeah.
obviously I can't, we'd never try and cycle to Point Out Hill. I'm not sure if I'd try and cycle by laneway, but going up through Foymount and then through Chute is so, it's spectacular.
You know, that's everything.
Okay, that's in my report.
I can't
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, Sandra.
Yes, so the August 31st financial reports were in the package this month. So just some quick highlights on the grants from page 1 and 2 to point out to council. So as you can see, taxation levies, top of the first page, the final tax billing for 2023 has been completed. As I've previously reported, penalties and interest income for 2023 is looking good. And then the Ontario Municipal Partnership Fund, we have received 3 out of the 4 payments for 2023. The Ontario Roads Grant, we are still waiting on a large payment from the aggregate resources, and we should be receiving that shortly. We normally get it in September. And the Ontario Recycling Grant, we've received our first payment this year in June, and we are expecting our second payment in October. So I'm not sure if council had any other questions on either of those reports. So staff are preparing for the interim procedural audit that will take place the week of October the 10th. McKillican and Associates plan to start working here on October the 11th. And also just a heads up, so you know, MPAC made assessment changes due to legislative changes that were made to the farm forestry exemption. So that increased the acreage maximum from 20 to 30 acres, and MPAC's commitment to increase transparency. So as a result of that change in 2023, MPAC issued all properties that were affected a special amended property assessment notice. So as a result of this, I manually processed almost 200 property tax adjustments for those properties. Most of the changes were small credits. From about 31 cents to the biggest one was, I think, around $121. And 15 of those properties actually received a small increase from 31 cents more owing to $8.91, $8.96 owing. So it was a lot of work
For a little bit.
for a very, very little bit.
A lot of squeeze for a little juice.
Yes, and I just wanted to give you a heads up because I feel like they need to be mailed out, but some taxpayers might be upset with the small amounts.
Mailing out 831 cent, yeah.
But it's a legislative change, so they really should be made aware of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
so that's the
conundrum.
reason if you get,
Thanks for letting us know. Sarah.
yeah, I thought you might wonder.
So the impact, it's a program that involves forested land on farm for agricultural property.
Yeah, so I guess it was 20 acres before and they've expanded it now to 30 acres. And so they're showing the exempt portion. So they might have,
Right.
That's managed forestry. fund.
That's.
No, I think that, I'm just saying that's not MIFTIPS and
No.
Forest Tax Incentive Program.
no, it was just a built into how they assessed.
Yeah, it's just
Nobody
increased
was
the
probably
rate.
used, because a lot of the properties were residential.
Yeah.
A lot of farm, so if you have acreage,
Right,
so you might have gotten a reduction to your residential or farm assessment of about, say, even $100, but they've added an exempt portion, 1,000 or 5,000 assessments, but it's exempt.
so the fine people at MPAC are working,
Yeah,
they're just not allowed to assess until the province. I'll give a proper,
my recommendation would have been to just phase it in for 2024.
Well, I'll await with interest the income expense sheet for the for MPAC for the amount of time put in for the gains.
yeah, exactly. Well, I'll have a report on MPAC in my mayor's report. That's what I should have done, I should have done. Just so that they're not 7 pages long and John and Bren had to read through all the minutes. I might start doubling up if I have busy times, especially when you're reporting on something like MPAC and I have sort of up-to-date news from the Royal Board, but I'll do that properly.
Yeah, so the people would have got their notices from MPAC probably back in March,
Okay.
March or April.
Alrighty then. Well, thank you for doing that, but wow,
Yeah, it's the same amount of work involved, whether it's 3 cents
I
or $3,000.
I
Right?
get-
It's the-
I get it.
So for items that you handle, like the impact report, that affect literally every person, every ratepayer in Bon Cheval Valley. Maybe those would be ones you could almost put those out as
As just
small reports.
standalones.
Sometimes it's easier if we read them ahead of time, it makes.
I know, yeah,
I know there's a lot of pressure on you, but you know, certain things in your reports when you've met someone or spoken with somebody. But this one is a really important one that people may actually ask me about at the food bank.
Okay, so just very, I'm sorry, Sandra, I'll let you finish and then I'll just.
No, I was,
You're
I'm
good,
done, if
okay.
anyone has any questions.
So just while we're on impact, and I'll give you a snippet because. I will do a proper report for you so that you have it. You know, and I'll make sure that I email it out prior to our next meeting so that. If people do have questions, then you're prepared. So. The last assessment from impact was 2016. They did an assessment. Ostensibly in 2019 to go out in 2020, and then the world fell apart. So now we've recently received a notice from impact saying that they are not going to assess until the end of 2024. And are looking at, in fact, how their assessments are done. And I think everybody got that email from impact.
Yeah.
It was very interesting at the AMO conference and at the Roma board. Talking to people about this because the timing of it is not good. So you're talking about the end of 2024, well, in 2025, the province is going into an election cycle for 2026. So word on the street and the likelihood is that we might not see a new assessment and a different kind of assessment until 2027, which is 11 years, which is far too long. However, for us, it will, whoever's on council at the time, it will also be a bit of a logistic nightmare. And Annette and I have had many conversations, kind of depressing conversations about this. Because of course, as property values increase, we will have to decrease our tax rates.
Yes,
But it'll be, how do we do that? And my fear is that there'll never be parity. So that's going to be a bit of an accounting nightmare when that happens. The other challenge is that anybody that's taken out a building permit, no matter what, over the last 8 years, they do get reassessed. So just for example, we built a 40 by 40 garage. Well, impact was all over that and it increased our taxes substantially, like almost double. So some of us are actually sort of shouldering the burden of not having new assessments by creating real value, new value, current, sorry, my head is really snotty now. We're sort of shouldering the burden with new growth. And so it will be interesting to see if it happens in 2027. I would love it if it would happen in 2025, but whenever it does happen, it'll be up to us to figure out where that sweet spot is. And again, it'll be phased in over 4 years. So it's going to be a 4-year jockeying of new assessment and our tax rates. So that's sort of a snippet, but I will put it in a proper report for our next meeting, and then the leader can pick it up and you can figure out how you want to report on it, Debbie, but it's
Very complicated.
it's kind of a dog's breakfast, yes.
Do you think that the two women who came and talked to us about impact early or late lives after the election last year, and maybe they could do a presentation at county council at county level where we can tend for more explanation, because it's a complicated issue. It would be nice to have a person who can ask questions of.
It will, and I appreciate that, and I think it's an excellent idea. No doubt the warden's probably all over it, because we did just like literally Thursday and Friday, we were in Waterloo for the Roma meeting. So I'm sure that this is a hot topic for everybody, but I love the idea. I think maybe early in the new year, John, when we know maybe better where impact is going and what the province will, remember also, this is not impact. The province is stalling them.
Yeah.
So like if it was impact on their own, well, an election cycle doesn't mean anything, but because it's the province directing, it has a bearing on it.
Because we're going to talk about something under new business that I want them to be here for. But I can also reach out to Impact. They have some great videos too online, like some educational videos, and like they do webinars and stuff like that. So if you'd like I can reach out to them as well, and if they have one, I can ask them to, I can forward it on, maybe they want to do something again for councils. And I'll also maybe send an email to Craig and see if they're
Yeah.
planning it, if that works.
But it is, it's
Complicated,
very complicated.
yes.
Well, it's almost scary enough that we should do it as a night at the museum party.
Really. It's a,
I'm concerned if we do it too soon, there'll be changes.
well, that's
You know,
why
like,
I'm
why do it,
suggesting,
and 6 months from now, they've changed their mind. Then a new set of changes.
well, and the topic of conversation on everybody's mind is what model would MPAC go to? Because they've already gone from mill rate to tax rate, is that right?
Mhm.
That's right, mill rate to tax rate, and so that already complicated things. But the job around this table and every table in Ontario will be very interesting.
Yeah.
Far more complex than we're probably prepared for,
You think?
yeah. And that's next.
Yeah, do you want me to go ahead, or do you want to cover new business with Jason here? Do you have, I won't be long.
Cassandra finished?
Yes.
Okay.
Jason seems okay. He can take a break.
This is vacation for
I
Jason.
was gonna say, safety meeting, no one works, no one gets hurt.
Before I go on to my report, sorry, I missed who moved the agenda.
I'll move that.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay. So staff, I did call the county and had Angie and the new GIS technician from the county. I'm missing her name right now, so sorry for that, but they came in and did the training on the county GIS mapping for staff. Because we have had some staff changes, so, Erica's using the mapping now for planning, and there was some people that wanted a refresher. So we had public works, we had water and sewer, we had different people in, and a really good response from staff. Who enjoyed it and who really got a lot out of it, and now we'll be able to use one more tool.
It's a pretty slick
It
system.
really is, it
Yeah.
really is, so that was very successful. New filing classification, so I'm speaking with file hold on next Monday, and we're still working through, it's set up, but we have to get some training in, and then we'll be moving towards getting our new filing so that we're all consistent with each other. And Sandra and I are participating in AMP It Up 3.0. So this is the third round. There was AMP It Up 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. So this is our third round of participating in that. And it's 30 hours of free consulting. And we are doing it with Public Sector Digest this time around. And they've already reviewed our asset management plan, gone through a lot of our policies, and they said, wow, you guys are pretty much 2025 compliant. And they said, did you plan that? Yes, of course we did. So,
Which is wrong.
yeah, I said we read it in 2021, and that was the goal was to meet 2025. But they did find a couple of gaps. They might not be regulated gaps, but they are still gaps in our asset management plan, having to do with culverts, some signage, some different data and procedures that they can look into for inspection. And it's probably stuff we're doing now. It just might not be documented. And so with the 30 hours, I think that's pretty good use of their time to have a look at those and prepare those for us. So working towards those. MFOA conference, so I am heading to that on Thursday. So I'm presenting again with Municipal Finance Learning and Growing Together session for females in the finance field. And also participating with FCM. So across Canada, we've got representatives from every province and Northwest Territories. I'm representing rural Ontario, and we're having discussions on fiscal revenue and the status and how municipalities fit into that. So it's really, really interesting discussions and a lot of incredible information, which I can't share, but some of it I can, but a lot of it I
It's
can't.
really confidential.
But it's exciting to see if we can come up with a new fiscal framework for municipalities. So
Now,
that's-
are you sure that you're not gonna have to go to Calgary?
No, I'm not, no. If they're through Zoom, so.
No, but if they.
Oh,
want
to
your
the
pre-
FCM?
Yeah,
No, we just started, so I don't know where it is next year, but
somebody told me.
anyway, if we're meeting quarterly for the next year, so we'll.
Are you a representative on FCM?
So I'm on the AMCTO board, and so that's what's posted me onto the FCM advisory committee, so they're, yeah, yeah, so working with them to sort of advise them in the same capacity as advising AMO or other bodies that represent everybody to kind of say, can we come together? And it's my first time working countrywide, and which is very different. Like when you're working within Ontario, it's different with this between cities and rural and remote rural and all these different sizes, but countrywide there's some significant differences. So anyway, but some incredible people, very, very smart people on the committee. So I really was very interested in hearing all of the conversations. Like I said, the information was blowing my mind. So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations too,
I hope the country is ready for CAO Gilchrist.
right? Just to your question, John, Glenn Doncaster, the Reeve of Deep River, is our county representative on
FCN.
FCN.
Yeah, I'm not elected, so I don't get to be a rep, but I'm still in on the discussion.
Just one question going back, the name of the new filing system, you said file hold,
File holds, yes,
HOLD?
yes, yes.
Thank God it's not HOLE.
And then our asset management workshop, Sandra and I were both on that to represent Eastern Ontario. And so they're having their final workshop up in Pembroke. And then they will, I guess we'll collect all the information from them and they will have collected all the information from us and hopefully put together through Asset Management Ontario some best practices and guidelines for everyone that's really, really struggling to get to the 2025 regulations. So and also Sarah and Erica both accepted the permanent offers in the positions that they've been transitioning with over the summer and both have accepted. Moving forward. The rest of my report has to do with things that are new business, so I won't go into a ton of detail here. We'll deal with them one at a time when we go through new business. And the first one is with Jason, so he's here. Council meetings. So we did have a discussion about moving the October council meeting from
To October 20th.
yes, it was on October 31st. So it was October 10th and October 31st. So there was a discussion last meeting to move it from October 31st to October 24th. So I just need direction. If we are moving it, then we can post notice out to the public.
Yep, I'm fine with it.
That's fine.
That was on behalf of me because I'd be traveling.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be able to Zoom,
No,
right? No,
so I
that's fine.
thank you if we obviously support it.
Yes, thank
And Tracy. Yeah, okay.
you.
I keep forgetting she's behind me.
So my next question that came up from the last meeting was dog tags. So we did discuss some options for dog tags. So it used to be you got a dog tag every year. It was $20 to $30, $20 if you got it before March, $30 after that. And we provide you with your dog license, we provide you with your dog tag, and every year you would come and renew them. And council passed a new fee bylaw, whereas you can get your dog license and your dog tag for the life of your dog. However, before we did have a replacement tag for $2 if you lost your tag, but we were renewing your license on an annual basis. So there was discussion on whether or not we should, because we didn't put in a replacement tag because it's for the life of your dog. So if you lose your tag, then you have to come in and we're basically relicensing your dog. All of our tags already are numbered. That's how they come ordered. We don't engrave them here on site. So it's not like we're really giving you a replacement tag. We're relicensing your dog. So some of the options I just want to present to the committee for direction to staff on how you want me to proceed forward. I can either amend the bylaw and bring it forward, or we can leave it as is. I researched a bunch of different municipalities,
I
and so
love the Amazon thing.
yes, so
Yeah, I like
that was actually through discussions with Sandra. So there's all different pricing for dogs, goes up to $80 per tag if in certain municipalities, and replacement tags can go up to $15 per tag to have them replaced. So the options, as you can see, are do we incorporate a replacement fee? And if you want me to do that, then I have to bring forward an amended bylaw and how much should it be? Or if we leave it as it is, and someone loses their dog tag and they come in and they say, well, I lost my dog tag, rather than spending the $30 and relicensing them, if they just want a tag, they can order one on Amazon for $6, $10, whatever, engraved. And as long as it has the same number on it, number BB tag, dog tag 01, their tag.
You can get anything on
The
Amazon.
license hasn't expired, just the tag got lost, so, that's an option to sort of push the administration back on the person who lost their tag as opposed, but if you want it relicensed, then that will be a $30 charge. So those are sort of, what we have to consider, and so I'm not sure which.
I had
direction you wanna go.
$5 replacement in my head, but I'm
Yeah.
open.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that dog tags are not a revenue generator. They help us to find homes for lost dogs,
Yes,
basically.
and they save us money so if you called in and you said, I found a dog and it's dog tag number 5, we can look it up on our system. We know the owners, we can call the owners, we can say your so-and-so has your dog. And they can go and collect the dog, and then we don't have to involve any outside parties, we don't have to involve bylaw, we don't have to pay SPCA, we don't have to, so it's a cost savings and a time savings too, so we get the dog back to the owner as soon as possible.
Oh.
So that's really the goal of having
Yes.
dogs licensed, yeah.
So if the loser of a tag came back for their dog to get another tag, currently $30, if we made it 15 or 10,
Mhm.
it would have some benefit for the municipality, and for the owner, obviously, as well. So,
It's, the other thing is it's incentive to get a new tag,
Mhm.
right? That's why I'm thinking $30 as a replacement, that's a lot. When you've already licensed your dog. And that's absolutely correct. I mean, it helps the owner, it helps us, it helps everybody. And I've even seen on Facebook, not in our municipality, but in another one, somebody posted, I have this dog and the dog tag number is blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, there is value to it, but I'm just thinking incentive for these people to come in and get another tag. That's why I had $5 in my head, but I'm totally open, guys.
okay. And since we put the $30 price tag in, we've replaced a couple of tags.
No, 2.
So even let's say it's 6 a year, even at $30, it's not gonna make a difference to our budget. It's not a revenue generator.
Mhm.
So I'm like Mayor Murphy, I think that we should have a lesser fee. I was thinking $10, but what do you think?
10 or $15, $10 is fair.
Well, me, my opinion on it,
It's a hot topic, man. We need
Not
you,
really.
we need your vote.
I don't know, I was gonna say for 2 tickets, I would just, 2 licenses this year, I would just left it. People are either gonna tag their animals or they aren't, so. My opinion, if you've only done 2 this year, we have X amount of dogs out there, we just left it and. So we
Tracy,
just got rid of the paperwork in general.
I like the idea of a cheaper rate, Jen. So the $5 I think is fair to me.
okay, I've got 2 10s on the board, a 15, leave it as is. You think 10 would be appropriate?
I think anything less than 10, we're spending money.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's go with 10.
Let's go with 10.
All right. Thanks, Annette.
Just because it's a new tag, it's a new license, so the paper license and the metal tag that we bought, and then the admins to do it.
Okay.
I don't even know that we're doing it for 10. We could be losing money at 10, but at 5 for sure we are.
Okay.
I have to do more analysis to know for 10.
But at least, if it- as John just said, even if it's 6 a year, I mean,
Do you want to say we're in favor of lowering it, and you could make sure that we come in, so we're not losing money for the ratepayers? Tell us if it should be 15 or it should be 12. Is that a big,
I can
just
look
don't-
at it and bring the bylaw back, but yeah,
Honestly, I just think for two tags, I think it'd be a waste of, in my opinion, it's not worth while us putting staff time into it.
but I do know that there are 2 people that were not very happy with the $30, and so they just didn't get another tag.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot of people that don't have tags either way. Like, I know a lot of people that have animals, and they don't have a single tag on their animals, and people are either gonna get them or not. So, like, that's the thing, but no, I'm fine. If you guys wanna do another one, that's fine, or leave it at 30. If people wanna, they have the number, they can get a tag themselves from Amazon for $10. They want something cheaper.
Which is so
And
fun.
then it's less time for us. They can order probably 100 tags on Amazon for $10 if they want, and they all have the same number.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I was saying, sometimes you have to put the onus on other people.
so if we leave it at $10 and I bring back a bylaw at $10, if it will affect things, if we are actually losing money on it, I'll have a look at the price of the tag, the price of the license book, and how long it takes admin, not long, but yeah, I can do that calculation, and if it's not losing money, I'll just bring back the bylaw. If it is losing money, I'll bring back another recommendation. Is that fair?
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
15 also is half of original price, you know. I mean, they can't.
Yeah.
Complain at that.
I would say bring it back no matter what, between $10 and $15.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I'll have
let's,
a look.
I mean, guys. That's good, spending a lot of time on something.
I'll bring back an amended bylaw between 10 and 15. I won't go higher
It's
than
not
15.
feeling her best.
And I'll do some analysis and make sure we're not losing money, and I'll bring it back. Okay. Thank you. So the planning and licensing report, I don't have much to report there. Anne McBain is coming back to our office again on Tuesday, October the 3rd. So we have some appointments ready for her, and I think we still have some slots available if people wanted to meet with her on a planning issue.
Again, I love the lineup for the last time I was here. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is a great.
And I see that other municipalities are now doing
Yep,
it.
yeah.
Which is, yay, on a Sheer Valley,
Yeah.
always ahead of the
absolutely.
curve.
Then as far as community development report, so I did talk to Kevin about the buccal, using the Eagle's Nest for buccal rocks
Yeah.
on Saturday, November the 18th, and it is available. Any issues with that?
No.
Perfect. And
I'm really looking forward to Saturday.
Yes,
I'm sorry that you're not gonna be
yeah,
there.
Saturday is gonna be great. I'm driving back from Niagara Falls that day, but it's the event is really coming together. We've had lots of people who want to comment on it, so I hope it's a good time.
And just so everybody is aware, the ACDG is actually involved in this event, even though it's not the ACDG event. We're gonna be doing food with George, who's catering, so there is a partnership there as well.
No need to buy tickets in advance, so, okay.
Well, it's a free event except for food and booze, well, and pop and, but yeah. But no, it should be fun.
So the community improvement program, so we have sent out letters to all of the different businesses and organizations. We've only had one application submitted, so it's up to $1,000 for facade improvements. And you know, and we are making an application next week to the province to cover, like, to double our money. And so if we get approved for that grant, we may bring it forward next year or later this year to say we might be able to get more. Anyway, we've only had the one, and it is from Rio. So that application will come forward at the next meeting for council approval, but we have gone ahead and reached out to them and said, you know, staff is recommending approval, so I think they're moving ahead with what they're going to do. And then if council approves it at the next meeting, then once it's completed, we'll go out and have a look at it. If it looks good, I'm sure it will, then we can go ahead and cut the check. So
Well, and Tracy, do you want to reach out to Tammy at our space and see if she wants to take advantage of this round?
I just text her now as you were talking.
Tracy, great minds. Yeah, because I know that they don't have proper signage, obviously, but it's it should. So any way we can help them would be great.
Yep, and we did drop off a package there, so they have it.
Good.
And you know, we're here to help if it's not super complicated, but if they're, you know,
Yeah.
need some assistance. And also, I think people are having a hard time getting quotes. So we do understand that. We understand that, you know, that's it requires two. Sometimes you're only getting one because there is a challenge out there, as every single person here knows. When you try to get something done, to find more is difficult. Just to find one person who has the time to quote you, because everyone's so busy right now. All the contractors have no time, and they don't even want to send you a quote. They're like, I don't even really have time for your job, and you want a quote. So
Well, even
we get it.
Even our EACDG signs,
Yeah.
it took ages to get, like
Mhm.
there was a supply chain issue with
Yeah.
the actual metal and
Yeah.
the paint. Anyway, I mean, they're up now and they look fantastic, but yeah.
Yeah, challenges.
Tracy.
Yes,
Tracy.
hang on.
Laurel had a project involving upgrading Milano Pizza.
Yep.
That may be reminded that might, or he should be reminded that would probably qualify. Because he's got a nice red brick front.
Yeah.
A new sign would probably qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can reach out to Laurel and see if she started working on it yet. She has a relationship with him.
Yes. Yeah, they were in contact, so.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
want me
but-
to send her a package, Tracy?
Or do you think it should go to her or him?
no,
Well,
it's for
it's
him.
for him, but I don't have his contact.
Yeah, okay. Do you have her email?
Yeah, and she'd have to do a quote, so, yeah.
I think Tammy's working on this. Sorry, she just gave me an email back. Okay,
Okay.
sure, that sounds good. I'll let her know.
I'm putting a lot on Tracy when she's not feeling it.
It's
Fair
okay.
enough. I'll go get a pizza and I'll speak to him.
Okay.
Oh, perfect, perfect. And so following with other grant applications that we have ongoing, so we have the Green Inclusive Community Fund and the Green Municipal Fund that we've done for the arena and the curling club. The exciting thing is if we get these funds for the curling club, it will be net zero, and it might be the first
Wow.
net zero rec facility in Ontario.
Wow.
I'm gonna say 100% is the first one, but I know they just announced some other building that's out in BC that was the first net zero of its type. So I'm hoping, I'm excited. I've been talking back and forth with the people that are reviewing the application. So
That's
they
fantastic.
are looking at something for that. And the rural transit solution. So we did submit that application as well for the charging stations and the vehicles. So again, fingers crossed that that's going to go as well. We got lots of supporting. I have a supporting study on it from the Training and Learning Center that I got from Sue Rupert. And I got multiple support letters from Connect Well, Training and Learning Center, the municipalities, the county of Renfrew. So we have a lot of support for that project. And my hope is that it gets approved.
What is the preventing auto theft grant? What is that?
So that's through our police service board. I don't know, Sandra, do you want to touch on that or?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yes.
That's a-
preventing auto theft.
So he was,
You can go ahead, Murph.
yes, he was talking, and I don't know if that's what this is for. He was talking maybe having a few cameras set up because the vehicles that were being stolen in Toronto,
Mhm,
they're being intercepted on the 401 because they've,
of course,
so now they're coming the back roads. And
okay.
he's looking at maybe cameras at 41 and 60 or something like that.
Excellent. Okay, that's great. Good initiative. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the list of the cars that are most often targeted. I was happy to see mine wasn't on it.
But they want to get them to Quebec to get them,
Absolutely, they do.
get them on a boat.
So two things, the green fund that may apply to our curling clubs, that's Fed Dev, you said?
So we've got the GICB, which is the Green Initiative, and it's a Canadian fund.
So it's Fed Dev.
There's $3 billion in that fund. And then the second one is the Green Municipal Fund, the GMF. And it is through FCM, but it goes through the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. So the ministry is reviewing it. The Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing is reviewing it to make a recommendation to FCM whether or not they should approve it. So
Right.
that's how that one's flowing. So right now it's with the ministry and they have 90 days before they can make the recommendation to FCM. So, and we haven't heard anything from the GICB fund. So hopefully.
No news could be good news.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a transfer payment, but it's very convoluted.
Yes.
This might be an appropriate time. I was reading that radical green journal, the Wall Street Journal. And they talked about how the end of 2024, more electricity on the planet will be generated through renewables than through fossil fuels.
Interesting.
It's a big turning point.
Yeah, big deal.
That seems fast too.
That's what they said, maybe, that's what they said in context.
Mhm.
Wow.
Well, for instance, Ontario Hydro shut down all the coal plants. They're big plants.
And in our EGC thing, of course, our dam has been renewed, so,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So they're seeing the value in that. I would love to think that you and I had a part of that.
I'll be smiling when they reopen negotiations and close new contracts with all of the people in Bon Cher Valley who have fit
You affects, yeah,
operations, and they're going to
microfits.
have to.
yeah.
And that's all I have, other than some comments under what's under new business.
Okay. Well, we're down to correspondence.
Yeah, no, Jason is here, the request from the Eganville snow goers, you have no concerns, comments?
No.
I thought the
I
MOU
didn't
was
see
good. I would, bless you. We'll skip development charges.
So is Jason gonna talk?
Yeah, did you have anything?
It's really late, it's really the late clear.
That's where I was headed, yeah.
Okay, sorry, can I ask a question? This is about the memorandum of understanding. That's coming up later, but you won't be here then.
No, it's in and that's under new business,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So you,
Can
that's
I-
correct.
So snow goers, is that what was snow drifters?
No, snow goers is the club.
Okay, the
Snow
local,
drifters is the location.
so snow drifters is that location that's
Yes.
now shared with NAW. Snow goers is the snowmobile club who issue permits to let people go across my land. Okay, thank you.
Let's skip the other new business. Did you have anything about development charges?
No.
Okay, I thought you were in that email chain, but sorry. Okay, so Lake Clear. There was a little email thread there.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
There's always delays.
I
Oh,
live on 512. You soon?
could there be a more of a delay? is what I'm
Okay.
saying, right, than what they're planning on having the construction for. That'd be my only concern, right?
Okay,
I know the price is gonna go up significantly
if they don't get it done.
and at the application, right?
Okay. How do we mitigate this with the residents that go that way? And like, is county taking care of the communique
Yes,
for sure?
yes, it's just, Jason and I were not comfortable with the price difference. If the price difference had been lower, I think.
Yeah.
Not trying to put words in Jason's mouth, but based on our conversations, we would have said, yeah, go ahead and put the bridge in.
Right,
We don't want our rate, I know it's the 35, 36 ratepayers driving 13 kilometers all the way around,
Yeah.
nobody's cut off, there'll be a pedestrian bridge. But yes, if the price had been less, I mean, the job's only a little over $200,000, this is taking it to like $300,000, it's a pretty big, 80,000 is a big ask. So didn't feel comfortable and said, well, we gotta take it up the chain, to sort of say, you know, do we want the county spending $80,000 to put a temporary bridge in for our ratepayers? Or do we want our 30, 35, 36 of our ratepayers, you know, they still have access, but it's 13 kilometers out of their way. And now it's only supposed to be a 2-week job. What happens if it turns into a 2-month job? So all those things together made us want some direction.
okay, so
We would have made the call if we felt comfortable, but
I have a problem when you're talking about emergency services. I think, you know, when they did that portion of 512 at Silver Creek,
Mhm.
Silver Lake Road. You know, we insisted on that, on opening up that old MTO, correct? Because of the distance, I mean, we would be easily 40 to 50 kilometers in a detour, and thinking about paramedics, fire and police. We were never comfortable with that, and I do worry that if, and I understand what you're saying, and that it's costly, but is it worth it if somebody in that area has an emergency of any kind?
Mhm.
I mean, my personal feeling is spend the money because what's a life worth, but that's my feeling, and I'll see what other council members feel. And I too am worried about delays. if it was that 2 week that Taylor was talking about, that's one thing. But knowing how construction goes these days. Even if it was a month, I don't think I'd be comfortable with it. Yeah,
That's where we were struggling.
yeah. It
Yeah,
If it was 2 weeks, it's not a big,
That's
really
right.
big deal.
you hope it isn't.
No.
You hope it's not a big
Yeah.
deal, because emergencies can happen at any time. But, you know, that detour, that could be life or death. If somebody was in any sort of health scare or
But they're looking to only close the road for 1 week though.
2 weeks.
But I thought it was under construction, 2 weeks road closure for one.
No. It's they would close it for 2 weeks. And what Jason's saying about delays, I would say, I'd call it a month.
Yeah,
So-
but in the email, it says if we were permitted to close the road for replacement, the closure would be less than a week. And overall construction would be about 2 weeks.
yeah, yeah.
So it'd only be-
That's what they're hoping to do.
But
Yeah,
they won't.
it wouldn't go any longer than, yeah.
No, but that's what I was saying, it's like the original plan right now would be to close it 1 week. And then they're gonna have it open and then
Yeah.
for 2 weeks. Under construction, but they're only gonna have it closed technically 1 week. Yes, it could be delayed, obviously, weather and all that could incorporate on it.
Does the long detour, is that because there's a bridge involved and there's no alternate?
There's
route?
no.
There's no-
we gotta go with
yeah.
And that's right at, I know where the bridge is, right there.
So it's,
512.
the challenge is also directing, so if you phone 911,
Yeah.
dispatch is going to send you in a certain way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of logistics involved here. EMS has to be notified. Our 911 dispatch, CAC center needs to be notified. But I think what is your recommendation, Jason? Because you know road construction better than any of us.
Doesn't take much to run you into a big delay, right? There's gonna be so many variables that they don't know, because the water is still at the high, right? Till they get it
Mhm.
drained down, they're not gonna really know what they're dealing with. Or a base and other factors that could play in.
Okay. So we want the bridge.
I would say yes.
And it has to be done at some point. That's why we're discussing this, right?
No,
want
the
to
bridge
do-
is just temporary.
Yeah, the bridge, they're putting in a temporary bridge,
Yeah.
but they want to send their notices out today. So I have to get back from whether they're sending notices out to people to notify them that they're closing the road or they're not closing the road, but you won't be able to pass there, you're gonna have a detour, or whether they're, gonna go ahead and put in a temporary bridge is always the answer you want. It's just the cost of this whole job and adding the cost of the bridge and what that does to the whole cost was.
Yeah.
But emergency services are a good point, and other municipalities have had use of the bridge for their ratepayers, and we haven't. So it's a
Okay.
county structure, I don't know.
The other thing is, we own the Lassard Bridge. County owns it.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
it's not really 80,000.
That's the quote Taylor said to put it in, because they've got I don't know, however they put it
It's-
in. Okay,
It goes in like Lego. They're pretty neat. My feeling is do it, but
I just need direction to get back to the county
Again,
today.
you want direction. Putting in the Bailey Bridge or temporary bridge will allow them to properly repair the other
yes,
and shouldn't result in a large
No, it
detour.
won't.
it will not.
So the unknown, so the county owns it, so we should be able to get a bargain. And time is a little bit out of our hands, as Jason says.
It's
But
not our project, it's a county project.
Okay,
So this is about.
so we're just about services. We don't want to cut off our people.
Exactly.
from
They
emergency
just
care.
want to know from this council. Do we want the Lassard or do we not?
Mhm. It's just for budgeting purposes, they need to know.
Yes,
Yes.
I think we should, because you never know what they're gonna get into once you get down there. And this Bailey Bridge is only be one lane bridge.
They're not Baileys anymore, gentlemen, they're Sards.
Yeah, well, there'd always be Bailey in my mind.
It's like saying Kleenex. Yeah, Brent, thoughts?
Well, obviously, you want any project, no matter if we're doing it to go cheaper, the best way to put it, but yeah, no, that's fine, just put the Losar Bridge in, it's county project, so.
Tracy?
I'm surprised it came to our table, actually, to be honest.
I vote yes.
I know it's probably responsibility on us, but that's fine. That's fine, just put the Losar Bridge, it's already over budget. Perfect.
Tracy, your thoughts?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, great. There you go, Jay. And you're happy about MCON's very lengthy service agreement.
Yeah.
Like for $34,000, they sent us 40 pages. Seriously?
Yeah, honestly, really good compared, because we had their previous one as well, but the extra documentation was fantastic. Like I actually read through, I was like, this is BCC, MCOM everywhere, and it's nice to see the logistics of it, and you're like, it's
But
interesting.
I just thought because the province hadn't changed providers, it was MCON last year, it's MCON this year. I just figured it would look the same when I opened her package. I was like, wow, okay.
And the increase was not, fair enough.
Yeah, and the extra billing would be the same, right?
Two
Because, yeah, because there's no difference in the contract pretty much. The pricing went up. And then if there are any individual, it was the plowing in the banks, correct? That's extra?
Well, we do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have, all they're doing is just maintenance on the connecting link itself, just
Yeah.
plowing and salting or sanding.
Yeah.
But I
Makes
don't
sense.
think it even went up $2,000.
No,
Like that's. I'm gonna complain about that.
straight.
I was worried for two reasons. We lost our minister right at the time that they were talking about a different service provider, the RFPs were out, so. I'm very thankful for this. Just because I don't know the new minister of transport.
so just out of curiosity, for the original, when they're originally trying to do the culvert replacement, like when we talked about the Losar Bridge, was that always the original plan to do the bridge?
No,
No,
It wasn't? Okay, that's what I was.
that's why the lengthy email
Mhm.
trail.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sounds good.
Definitely. And the only other thing under Nat's new business, did everybody read the proposal for development charges from the county? And did you see Annette's initial reaction?
No, it made sense, your
It's
original reaction, which is there was no option C,
that,
which
yeah.
is just no development.
Right. And I think from, I mean, if most of the Highway 17 municipalities that they spoke about already have municipal development charges. My challenge with the documentation is that of the 20, and then of course cut down to 19 because they took one out. Only 7 of those items are county run. Like, I don't know why in the documents, and he kept repeating libraries, water and wastewater. Well, the county doesn't run libraries and they don't run water and wastewater. So basically what we're talking about in a sort of in a finality is road. That's all we're talking about. And for our very small municipalities, from my perspective, it does not make sense. I will be speaking out against it. I think if they had put it into a context of, from a local municipal standpoint, this is what we can do for you, might have been different, but quite frankly, we'll be the ones collecting the development charges. And it will not help in any of the faculties that you saw on those lists, policing, fire, the list, the 20 items or 19 items in the end that went on and on, literally 7 of them were county, and one of them actually isn't, because it's public health, and public health at this time is Renfrew and district health unit, which isn't even really part of the county, even though some of us sit on it. So a bit disappointing. I'll be speaking out against it, and I know a few of my colleagues will as well. just so you guys, but I liked Annette's reaction. There should be number 3, no development charges at this time, especially because we know that we're still in recovery.
So are there any comments or, any further comments, I guess, that committee or council wants me to make to the county of Brantford at this point in time?
So I support your change. It will go to county, your recommendation, and you will support it there.
Absolutely. The people already know how I feel about it.
You want us to be in the parking lot with placards
Yeah. That would help. Thank you.
or in the gallery?
Well, and I think that to appease some of the very small ones, municipalities that don't have development charges, they were probably smart to give the 2 options, countywide or that Highway 17 corridor. But I couldn't believe it, like when they were talking about, development going up in a municipality, and just before you even get started, you're talking about $30,000 in development charges. So now are you talking 30,000 and 30,000 because the local has development charges and now the county will? You talk about placards. I thought anybody developing in Monasheer Valley, if we told them that we were collecting money, but it was going to the county, they don't really see that. So are they going to be in our parking lot with pitchforks? Yeah.
Could we ask Annette to amend it and call it anti-development charges?
Yes. And it's funny because the people that did the surveys and everything else and presented it, they swear that this does not prevent development. And they might be right, but are we sending somebody that might develop here to another county? Are we like, when I think about the FT, so if Bancroft didn't have development charges, but Eganville did, where are you going?
Well, the best way to put it is any charge puts that onus on the people that are living there or are going to buy the project anyway. So the thing is, it's no different than other taxes that government decides to implement. It's like a development charge. The best response is if you're going to develop in areas that are more willing to work with you or be more favorable. Like the thing is, if a municipality is simpler, easier to deal with, so like Bonshire Valley generally is very good to deal with. Bancroft has been very good to deal with. There's other municipalities that are good to deal with. But you have to look at it and be like, well, what development? We don't have a massive amount of Bonshire Valley development this year outside of some certain projects.
Yeah.
Besides that, like we don't, yes, we had a big COVID spike in some of these other municipalities, but there's a lot of other small municipalities that are attracting large growth. Look at Madawaska Valley. They have a nice subdivision that started coming in 2022.
But they don't
It's
have
like,
development charges.
well, no, they don't. And the thing is, and that's the aspect on is we are off the 417. So we're not a secondary market, we're a tertiary market, we're a specific development area or group, right? So you're trying to attract residents to our area, and one of the ways we do that is by being economically friendly. So there's other alternatives that the county, and when they put in development charges, they can be looking at. It's like, well, look at your cost for new development, which is your Terrion. Look at your condo with your Terrion as well. Look at it. There's a lot of other, and that's why like the federal government coming out with your HST for like say building apartments or affordable housing and stuff. You have to look at the details of it. But no, end of the day, it's like John's exactly right. It's anti-development charges. It doesn't incentivize anything. It doesn't say thank you.
I agree. I agree. Are you done in that?
Yeah, so no additional comments then.
Cool.
And then I just have 2 more questions. MCON is, am I good to sign? Direction good to sign?
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay. And the MOU with Snowdrifters, good to sign.
Go for it.
Perfect.
Progress at its best. Jay, before you got here, I was just telling Debbie about Harry Dick Road. So in your next report, could you report on it? That we're not changing the name. Thank you.
So in that, the MOU, the maps you gave me, the portion in blue is the trail we're talking about.
Yes.
And that goes near the Snowdrifters waste site. That's why we're the owners of that
Yeah.
land.
That's correct.
Okay, that's good.
It's very odd that we own a waste site in another municipality. The authors of the amalgamation, they could have carved it out a bit
Do
better.
you want an hour? I'll tell you why.
We'll go to the Legion afterwards.
Yes.
So that's everything.
Yeah.
You want to have a break
down to
before we go to correspondence?
correspondence? Sure, yeah.
Okay, got a break?
When we're done here, guys, I am gonna go home and zoom in for EGC and council because I'm really fading here. I got a cold.
You didn't bring a bottle of brandy?
So we're taking a 5-minute break?
Yeah.
5-minute break.
Okay, extra night for.
We are back on.
We're back on. Correspondence A, any comments? Hearing none?
The Renfrew Science Fair request, we've generally always said no to that, and I was
Oh, yeah.
gonna say no.
Correspondence B,
The invite from the Echo Center, guys, I cannot be there. That Thursday is the Warden's Golf Tournament.
I'll try and be there.
I'm going.
You're going?
I'm going.
Great, thank you, Tracy. Just, I said that I'd stop in, but apparently it's not a stop in kind of thing. So Kayla said there'll be other ones, so I will make sure that I clear my schedule, but I had already committed myself for Thursday. Although the way I'm feeling right now, I probably won't be going anywhere on Thursday. Especially not the Echo Center. That would not be good.
Correspondence C.
That's all I have.
No, I didn't see anything in correspondence
No.
C, Merv.
No,
Environmental development charges, we've already discussed that one.
yeah,
Yep,
County email regarding Lake Shore Culvert, we've just beat that one. Winter maintenance agreement, beat that one. Lease for canteen and arena,
done,
done,
and MOU is done.
and done.
Although this says Eganville Snow Drifters on the agenda.
It is snow drifters.
That's why I asked about
It's-
snow goers.
It's snow goers.
I think it's snow drifters.
The memorandum says snow drifters.
This is no different, remember I said snow goers.
I thought it did too.
Somewhere I read that too, and I
Okay.
can't
Okay,
remember where.
either, but can we clean that up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Okay,
Phone carried Hendrick.
I don't really care what it's called, but it was a good MOU. Yes.
Yes, we added the two clauses that were recommended from our insurance. I
Yes, I,
remember when Jason was here and he was talking about the having our insurance review any new agreements. So we had the insurance review the agreement. They added two clauses. We sent it back. They signed it, so we're good.
that's a great service that they
It was
offer.
wonderful.
Yeah, it really
That
is.
was the
Yeah,
young man who was here one day.
yeah. I noticed that that you put in riders basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
great.
It was Chris Bevan.
Yeah,
Chris
that's
Becker.
great. Chris.
well, we've established the next meeting, media session. Any questions?
Yeah, no, I think I'm good today. Thanks for
Okay, thank you.
call Sandra about the 30 cents.
Oh, my
make
God.
sure you quote her on that.
Yeah, no, don't.
We've no closed
So
session
much
today.
trouble already.
No. But I'm having a close for our next one.
Perfect, I'll turn, Merv.
Motion to conclude?
Yeah.
Got it?
Perfect.
Okay.